Okay, another point that I am focusing on when I'm renovating projects is what kind of feeling are we able to produce in the people that's gonna view the property and potentially buy the property. Because at the end of the day, we are emotional beings, and a lot of our consumer behavior, our decision making is based on what we feel, not what we think. We might think that we base our decisions on what we think, but in reality, most of the decisions we choose, we subconsciously base on how they make us feel. Maybe it sounds a bit cryptical, it's not, but it's an interesting point that I want to explore a little bit, because a few years ago I read about this guy called Edward Bernays, not like Bernays the sauce, but close enough, Bernays. He was the young cousin of the great Sigmund Freud, who was a father of a few different types of psychology, and I'm not gonna go into that, but he had been working alongside Sigmund Freud and had learned from him about how more than we realize of our conscious life is in fact rooted in our subconscious. And what does that mean? It means that there's a lot of things going on in our subconscious mind which might be rooted in the body or wherever it resides. Sorry about this dog. Something is obviously annoying it subconsciously. But what Freud he realized early on as one of the pioneers of his field is that a lot of our life is rooted in the subconscious activities of the mind. So we make a lot of decisions based on the subconscious, and the subconscious, our feelings also stems from the subconscious. What Bernays he realized was that he could apply this new method of thinking or method of looking at human behavior and Jesus Christ, and apply it to how we sell products in society. So he was working at a public relations company, one of the early advertising bureaus. I think we're back in the 40s or something. So he was one of the first PR people to apply this method of thinking within marketing and PR campaigns, and he basically founded the modern day advertising. He was basically the first person who started creating campaigns and promotion for companies and products that was kind of talking to people's feelings rather than their rational states of mind. For example, when you see these old advertisements in old newspapers and stuff, you see an ad for a car, for example, and it obviously, and oftentimes it was stating like very clear and logical, rational facts about this car. It weighs so much, it can go this fast, it is this efficient, rather than speaking to the emotional experience of driving this car around the countryside and what experience of freedom and independence and liberation and adventure it can invoke in people buying this car. So that was a new thing that he started doing. He started making campaigns that was based on this idea that you want to create a positive experience or a positive feeling in people if you want to sell them something. And that turned out to be the way to go. So that's basically how all modern advertisement and promotion and PR is being done at the moment now. And how is this relevant? Let's tie it back to the real estate projects, because that made me think about how to do these renovations and how to present the properties I've been working with in a new light and a new way after the renovation, and really double down on whatever features, on whatever designs, whatever little details that can invoke a feeling of something special in people. Because my philosophy, my intuition says that most people, they like with this appetizing concept, they oftentimes base their decision for buying a property or a home. So the same kind of idea applies to real estate, in my opinion. You want to create something that is unique, something that stands out, something that has features, elements, details that can create a positive feeling in the buyer of your property, and really double down on whatever that might be. Maybe it's spending an extra 20k on a special wide window, that door that can open up to a wider view of the terrace, or maybe it's spending some extra cash on adding handmade brass fixtures to the bathroom, or whatever it is that gives that extra feeling of awe and feeling of, wow, this is something special, this is something that really gives me great pleasure, gives me a great feeling. So that has been working out for me. Hopefully somebody out there can resonate and try it out for themselves. It seems to work for me. That's it for today. Thanks.